Hello everyone. In this lecture, let us see what is series resonance concept. Right? In the previous lectures, we have seen what is the behavior of an AC circuit when AC sinusoidal signal is applied, which consists of an RL elements in series or RC in series or RLC in series. Now, but what would happen to the characteristics of the circuit if a supply voltage of fixed amplitude but of different frequencies is applied to the circuit? Let us see now. Also, what is the frequency response behavior when the two components, that is two reactive components, what are they? XL and XC are the two reactive components, right? So, if with the variation of these two reactive components, what happens to the frequency response of the system? Let us see in this lecture. Also, we have got an introduction in the last lecture that if the inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance at a particular frequency, that particular frequency is called resonant frequency. Right? Resonant frequency. What is this resonant frequency? It is nothing but the frequency at which inductive reactance is equals to capacitive reactance. XL is equals to XC. That particular frequency is called resonant frequency, indicated by FR, represented by FR, small fr. Also, now let us see what is the behavior of this resonant of this circuit which is having a series RLC circuit at this particular resonant frequency. So, the behavior of the circuit which consists of series RLC circuit at resonant frequency is called what? Series resonance, right? So, series resonance is one of the most important circuit concepts which is used in electrical and electronic circuits. So, mainly they can be found in various forms like in AC main filters, noise filters, and also in radio and television tuning circuits, producing very selective tuning circuits for receiving of different frequency channels. Right? Now let us look at a series RLC circuit. So generally in a series RLC circuit, let us note down what are the parameters that we already know. That is, let me write down one by one. XL, what is XL, what is XC, right? So XL is nothing but inductive reactance, which can be given by 2 pi FL or not, where 2 pi F is nothing but omega L. So also XC is 1 by 2 pi FC, that is nothing but 1 by omega C. Also, we have learnt in the last lecture that when XL is greater than XC, right, the net reactance will be what? XL difference XC. Then the circuit is said to be inductive circuit or not? Inductive circuit. That means the inductance is dominating when compared to the capacitive effect. Also, when XL is less than XC, then it is called a capacitive circuit. Alright, capacitive circuit. That means XC is, that is capacitive reactance is greater than, dominating than inductive reactance. Right? So now total circuit reactance will be what? Circuit reactance. Circuit reactance will be given by XT. If it is defined as a total circuit reactance, then we can write it as XL difference XC. Okay. Now, circuit impedance. What is the formula for circuit impedance? These are all the things we have already learnt in the previous lectures. Just we are revising now. Z is equals to under root of R square plus XL difference XC the whole square. Right? So, R in polar form we can write it as R plus JX, where X is nothing but XL difference XC. So, this is a polar form, this is a magnitude. Okay. Now, from these above equations for inductive reactance, now let us look at inductive reactance. What is the effect of the inductive reactance on the frequency response of the system? Right. So, if either the frequency or the inductance, right? If these two parameters are increased, you can observe that the overall inductive reactance value of the inductor is also increased, right? As a frequency, if it is approaching to infinity, so the inductor's reactance would also increase towards infinity, right? Now, if it is increased to infinity, that means inductive reactance is going so high. So reactance is going so high, that means this circuit element will be acting as an open circuit or not. Why it is open circuit? This is nothing but one form of impedance, one form of opposition. If opposition is so high, that means the current can't flow through it. That means it acts as open circuit. Now, for example, if the frequency approaches to 0, right, it's going so low. Now the inductive reactance would also decrease to 0, causing the opposite effect, acting like a short circuit. So if it is going so high, it acts as open circuit. If it is going so low, it acts as short circuit. This means we can say that the inductive reactance is proportional to the frequency and is small at low frequencies and very high at higher frequencies. Right? So let us show this or prove this graphically. Inductive reactance against frequency. Let me draw now. So this is if this is the graph, so where this is the frequency and this is inductive reactance FL, right? Reactance. Now you can observe that if frequency is increasing, what happens to the reactance? It is going high. Whereas if frequency is decreasing, then inductive reactance is going down. Right? So this is nothing but our XL is equals to 2 pi FL. Right? So the graph of inductive reactance, this one, against frequency is a straight line or linear curve, we can say. Linear curve, right? Straight line. It is in the form of straight line. So the inductive reactance value of the inductor increases linearly as the frequency across it increases. So therefore we can write XL is proportional to frequency. Right? So now let us see in case of capacitive reactance what happens. Right? So capacitive reactance against frequency. Now, if formula is what? Xc is equals to 1 by 2 pi Fc. Now see, if either the frequency or the capacitance is increased, frequency or capacitance is increased, then the overall capacitive reactance would decrease. Yes or no? If it is increasing, this is decreasing. As the frequency is approaching to, let me write down, as the frequency is approaches to infinity, the capacitive reactance would reduce to 0. Right? This tends to 0. Or not. If it is so high, it is reducing to 0, causing the circuit to act like what? Perfect conductor. Why? Because Xc is 0. That means opposition is 0. That means it is allowing, there is no opposition to the flow of current. That means it acts as what? Conductor. Right? But if the frequency approaches to 0, then the capacitive reactance, what happens to the capacitive reactance? Would rapidly increase so high to infinity. Like it is, Xc is increasing. That means reactance is increasing. That means what? It acts like a resistor, becoming more like open circuit. So increase in resistance means what? Opposition to the flow of current is so high, that means it is acting as open circuit condition. That means from this we can write Xc is inversely proportional to the frequency. Now if you want to see it graphically, let us see it graphically. That is reactance XC. This is frequency. So if you try to draw a graph, you can observe by taking the values that the graph of capacitive reactance against frequency will be a hyperbolic curve. You will get the graphical values like this, 2 pi Fc. The reactance value of the capacitor has a very high value at low frequencies, but quickly decreases as the frequency across it is increased. It is fast reducing so that we don't get a linear curve, but we will get a hyperbolic curve, right? So from this we can conclude that the capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to frequency. Now, how do we get series resonant frequency then? Let us see. Now, if we put together, we have seen that resonance condition is nothing but we need to get XL is equals to XC, capacitive reactance is equals to inductive reactance. We will be obtaining this by combination of these two graphs. Let us see how do we get it. Now, the combination of both the graphs, that is inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, let me draw it. So, this is inductive reactance and this one is capacitive reactance, right? A circuit is now said to be in resonance if the effect of these two reactants, that is XL and XC, which are opposite and equal, cancel out each other as XL is equals to XC. That particular, this at which frequency this happens, that is called as series resonance. So this intersection point is nothing but XL is equals to XC point. So at this particular situation, what is the frequency? This intersection point gives us this series resonance point, right? That is frequency, resonant frequency point. So we can tell that before this point, say resonance point, XL or XC is greater than XL, and after the situation of resonance, XL is greater than XC. That means this side the circuit behaves as an inductive circuit and this side the circuit behaves as capacitive circuit, right? So this frequency, resonant frequency, is also measured in what? Hertz. Now let us see how to find out this resonant frequency. The condition is what? XL is equals to XC. That means 2 pi FL is equals to 1 by 2 pi FC, from where we get 4 pi square F square LC is equals to 1. That means I need to find out what? F 4 pi square LC. That means I can write F is equals to 1 by 2 pi root LC or not. So this is nothing but resonant frequency FR. So this is the method of finding out the resonant frequency. So if you need to find out omega R, it becomes 1 by root LC, where this is measured in hertz and this is measured in radians, right? So now in complex form, if you have to find out, see, we can see that at resonance, mathematically the two reactants cancel out each other as XL is equals to XC, XL minus XC is equals to 0. This makes the series LC combination as a short circuit with the only opposition to the current flow in series resonant circuit. What is only opposition? That is resistance. So the opposition provided by inductive circuit and capacitance are cancelled out each other. Now in complex form, if you see, the resonant frequency is a frequency at which the total impedance of the series RLC circuit becomes purely real. Why? Because only resistor is opposing now. No inductance or capacitance which gives us the imaginary part. But now those are not available. Only resistor is available. That is, only real part is available. Right? So this is because at resonance they are cancelled out each other, reactive, inductive reactance and capacitive reactance. So the total impedance of the series circuit becomes just the value of resistance at resonance. Then at resonance, the impedance of the series circuit, we can say, is at its minimum. Impedance is minimum. Why? Because generally impedance is what? Under root of R square plus one more term is there, which is not available now because XL is equals to XC. So the resistance is minimum. Let me write out important points. Minimum at series resonance. Right? That is equal to the value of resistance. So the circuit impedance at resonance is called as dynamic impedance. It is minimum, so it is called as dynamic impedance. Right? So this is about the impedance in series resonant circuit. Now if I try to show it graphically, let us see what happens. So this is Z, this is frequency. So we have seen that impedance, this is impedance which is minimum at series resonance, right? Series resonance, FR. So where this side behaves as inductive, that is XL greater than XC, and this side behaves as capacitive, that is XL less than XC. Right? Also, we can note one more point, that if the circuit impedance is at its minimum at resonance, then consequently the circuit's admittance must be at its maximum. Right? And one of the characteristics of a series resonant circuit is that admittance is very high. Admittance is high, as admittance is nothing but inverse of impedance. So impedance is minimum, that means admittance is maximum. Right? So this is about the series resonant circuit. So in the coming lectures, let us see some more details about the series resonant circuits in detail. Hope you have understood the concepts. Thank you.